All right, thank you guys. The Mets take on the Braves, 7:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Braves are minus 143, totals 10.5, juice to the under. The Mets are plus $1.20 on the money line. And if you like New York to cover, they're minus 154, catching the 1.5. I'm 4-0 my last 4 MLB tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. I'm also 2-0 my last 2 crowd pleaser teasers on that site as well. If you want access to these premium selections, the link for that website is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. Rick Porcello's on the bump for the Mets. Sean Newcomb for the Braves. Newcomb gave up just 1 run over 3 1/3 innings pitched in his last start. He didn't get the W, but he currently has an ERA of just 2.70 thus far in the season after that start. The Braves are coming off a very nice 2-1 victory over a seemingly strong Tampa ball club. Matter of fact, they're on a nice little 2-game win streak with both of those victories coming against the Rays. They gave up just 5 total runs in those 2 contests. The Braves currently rank in the top 3 in walks allowed. They're also led by Dansby Swanson, who's tied for second in the league in RBIs with 9 of them. He's also currently hitting .370 with 2 homers. Marcell Osuna's also hit 2 bombs on the year and 3 doubles, along with hitting .364. The Braves have taken 6 out of their last 8 from the Mets at SunTrust Park, or Truist Park, as it's called now, I guess. And speaking of the Mets, they were doubled up by the Bo Sox in their last outing by the final of 4-2. They lost their last 2 straight and 4 out of their last 6. Rick Porcello's on the hill for the Mets, and man, did he stink in his last outing. He currently has an ERA of 27 even, along with a 5.00 whip. The Mets rank in the bottom 10 in scoring and hits allowed. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, 4 out of New York's last 5 got over the total of 10.5 runs. 5 out of Porcello's last 7 starts got over the posted total as well. Meanwhile, on the Atlanta side, 3 out of their last 5 got over the 10.5 themselves. Newcomb's last 5 starts got over the posted total as well. Give me the Braves winning this one outright in the over 10.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Friday's MLB baseball action. Happy Friday to you. The weekend is finally here. Now, before we dive into some more free content here on YouTube, I just have to quickly remind you that we are currently 4-0 in our last 4 MLB tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also 3-1 in our last 4 board member tier package plays on that site as well. If you want some more information on how you can join in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, moving on, we're going to take a look at the Reds taking on the Tigers, 7:10 p.m. East. The Reds are minus 188, totals 8.5. The Tigers are plus $1.55 to win it. We got Spencer Turnbull for the Tigers, Luis Castillo for the Reds. And despite a impressive outing in his last start, the Reds lost 4 out of their last 5 games where Castillo threw out the first pitch. Of course, that's dating back to last season. The Reds rank in the bottom 10 in hits and also dropped 4 out of their last 5 in the 2020 season. They're giving up 6.4 runs per contest on average in their last 5 as well. No surprise that since he's also ranking in the bottom 10 in runs allowed on the season as well. They're taking on a Tigers squad who won 2 out of their last 3 themselves. The Tigers rank in the top 10 in walks allowed, and they have won 5 out of their last 6 at home against the Reds. Spencer Turnbull gets the start for the Tigers today. Nice outing for him. Last time on the mound as he struck out 8 batters. He currently has an ERA of just 1.80. Jacoby Jones leads the Tigers in hits and batting average. He's hitting .409 right now, which is good for 10th in Major League Baseball. He's also hit 3 homers and knocked in 6. Now, Jonathan Schoop, he leads the club in RBI with 7 of them. Schoop has also hit 3 home runs, for this Tigers club as well. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Detroit's last 3 stayed under the total of 8.5 runs. Spencer Turnbull's last 6 starts also stayed under the posted total as well. Meanwhile, on the Red side of things, 4 out of their last 5 games away from home stayed under the number. Give me the Tigers plus 1.5 and the under 8.5 in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be the White Sox taking on the Royals, and that's going to be an 8:05 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Sox are minus 165, totals 9.5 flat. Royals are plus 145 to win it and minus 115 to keep it close. Chris Bubich for KC, Dallas Keuchel for the Sox. But despite a decent start in his last outing, Keuchel's coming off a lackluster 2019 where he went just 8-8 in 19 starts for the Braves. This will be Keuchel's 3rd team in his last 3 seasons. He's coming fresh off his lowest strikeout season since his rookie year. He punched out just 91 batters in 112 2/3 innings. The Braves went 0-5 in Keuchel's final 5 starts for the club. The White Sox have also struggled to make contact. They rank in the bottom 3 in strikeouts, along with ranking in the bottom 5 in runs allowed. Chicago's dropped 3 out of their last 4 ball games and averaged only 2.6 runs per contest in those defeats. The Sox are currently in last place in the AL Central, and they dropped 6 out of their last 7 head-to-head meetings with the Royals. And speaking of Kansas City, Chris Bubich takes the mound for the Royals tonight. The lefty's making his Major League debut at just 22 years old. Showed some pretty good stuff in single-A ball, so the Royals are going to roll the dice and give him a shot. And KC beat the Tigers yesterday by the final of 5-2 and also destroyed them by the final of 14-6 in that very same series. In addition to having recent success against their opponent here tonight, the Royals have also gone 4-1 in their last 5 games hosting the White Sox at Kauffman Stadium. Whit Merrifield leads the team in hits and batting average. He's hitting .333 and he has 7 RBI, which is tied for 6th in the major leagues. Merrifield's also hit 3 doubles and 2 home runs on the season. Former Philly Maikel Franco, he leads the squad in ribbies with 7. Now, total-wise, KC's last 3 straight stayed under the total of 9.5. They're currently 71% to the under on the season. Meanwhile, on the Chicago side, their last 3 straight stayed under the 9.5 themselves. Give me the Kansas City Royals plus 1.5 and the under 9.5 in that contest. Next matchup, the Padres taking on the Rockies. 8:10 p.m. Eastern start time. That's going to be in the Mile High City. The Rockies are the $1.10 favorite. Totals 11.5, juice to the under. The Padres are the very slight underdog at minus 105. We have Garrett Richards for the Pods, John Gray for the Rockies. Gray gave up just 1 run on 3 hits in his last start. He's currently got a 1.93 ERA with 3 strikeouts. The Rockies are 3-2 in Gray's last 5 starts, as Colorado also currently ranks first in the league in runs allowed per game. Colorado's currently on a 4-game winning streak and ranks in the top 3 in hits allowed. Dahl, Blackmon, and Story are all tied for the club lead in hits. Trevor Story's currently batting .278 with 2 homers, but the story for this Colorado club, get it? You know, like a pun? That's bad. But anyway, the story for this Colorado club has been its defense and its pitching, and they are taking on a San Diego club who puts Garrett Richards on the hill tonight, who actually makes his first start at Coors Field in his 10-year career, believe it or not. The Pods have given up 14 runs in their past 2 games. They also rank in the bottom 10 in strikeouts at the plate. San Diego's dropped 13 out of their last 16 on the road, and of course, that dates back to last season. They posted a record of just 2-5 in their last 7 meetings with the Rockies. Now, total-wise, 5 out of the Pods' 7 contests on the season stayed under the total of 11.5 runs. 4 out of their last 6 divisional games stayed under the posted total as well. Meanwhile, the Rockies on the other side saw all 5 of their games stay under the 11.5 themselves. 5 out of Colorado's last 6 games at Coors Field also stayed under the posted number. Give me the Rockies minus $1.10 and the under 11.5 in that game. All right, next contest, it is going to be the Indians squaring off against the Twins, 8:10 p.m. East. The Indians are minus $1.25, totals 9.5 juice to the under. The Twins are plus 105 on the money line if you like them to cover. Minnesota's minus 150 catching the 1.5. We got Randy Dobnak for the Twins, Mike Clevenger for the Indians. Clevenger failed to get the W in his last outing. Now, he didn't take a loss, but he did get the no decision after giving up back-to-back home runs in that affair. The Indians lost 3 out of their last 5, where Clevenger made the start. Cleveland's also scored just 2 total runs in their last couple of games combined. They currently rank in the bottom 3 in scoring. They are taking on a Twins squad who's been victorious in 3 out of their last 4 ball games, and that's going to include an impressive 3-0 shutout victory over the Cardinals. Now, the Twins, they've given up just 7 total runs in their last 4 games. Very impressive there, and they rank in the top 10 in runs allowed. Now, Randy Dobnak takes the mound for Minnesota, who gave up just 1 run over 4 innings in his last outing. Nelson Cruz is leading the Twins in hits and doubles. He's also currently leading the league in RBI. He's got 11 of them, so certainly getting the job done at the plate, driving those runs in. Luis Arias, he's leading the club in batting average as well. He's currently hitting .389. Now, the Twins rank in the top 5 in scoring, and they won 8 out of their last 11 divisional games. Now, total-wise, Minnesota's last 3 straight stayed under the total of 9.5 runs. Meanwhile, Cleveland saw their last 4 straight stay under that number themselves. And as a matter of fact, the Indians are officially 5-1 to the under on the season. Give me the Twins, plus 105, winning this one outright for some plus money cash, and the under 9.5 in that contest. Don't say I don't take the dogs. We got a couple underdog leans here today. All right, next matchup, it is going to be the Pirates taking on the Cubs. 8:15 p.m. Eastern start time. The Cubbies are the $2.25 favorite, totals 8.5 juice to the over. The Pirates are plus 190 in an upset. And if you like them to cover, they're minus 105 catching the 1.5. We got Trevor Williams for the Buccos, Yu Darvish for the Cubs. Darvish, believe it or not, he recorded a whip of just 0.833 against the Pirates last season. The Cubbies won 3 out of their last 4 ball games, totaling 32 total runs in those affairs. The Cubs are in the top 3 in run production, top 10 in hitting as well. Anthony Rizzo leads the team in homers with 3. Nico Horner leading the team in hits and batting average. The Cubs rank in the top 10 in hits allowed. They're taking on a Pirate squad who was shut out in their last outing 3-0. The Pirates rank in the bottom 3 in hits, and they also rank in the bottom 10 in run production. They've also gone just 4-9 in their last 13 against the Cubs. Now, total-wise, 2 out of the Pirates' last 3 got over the total of 8.5 runs. Their last 5 straight games at Wrigley Field also got over the posted number. Meanwhile, the Cubbies saw their last 5 straight get over the 8.5 themselves. Chicago's 80% to the over in their last 10 ball games dating back to last season. Give me the Cubs minus 1.5 and the over 8.5 in that game. Next contest, Rangers, Giants, 9-10 Oracle. Rangers are minus 125, totals 8.5, Giants plus $1.05. Webb for the Giants, Minor for Texas. Minor's 0-1 on the season despite a pretty good outing in his last start. The Rangers have lost in 3 out of Minor's last 4 starts as well. Texas has won just 1 out of their last 4, averaging just 1.6 runs per contest in those losses. Texas is in the bottom 3 in scoring and hits. They're also just 6-14 against the Giants in their last 20 meetings if you're into historical trends. And speaking of the Giants, it looks like Logan Webb is making the start here today. 2.25 ERA, 4 innings pitched. The Giants won 3 out of their last 5, including 2 victories over the Dodgers during that span. Mike Yastrzemski is one of the leaders on the team in hits and batting average. He's hitting .423, which ranks 8th in the league. Shortstop Donovan Solano, well, he's also 10 for 20 on the year from the plate. 9 ribbies. He's leading the squad in RBI. Sam Fran is in the top 10 in hits. And when it comes to the total in this one, 6 out of the Giants' 7 games on the season stayed under the total of 8.5 runs. 9 out of San Fran's last dozen meetings with the Rangers stayed under the posted total as well. Meanwhile, on the Texas side, 4 out of their last 5 stayed under the 8.5 themselves. Give me the Underdog Giants plus 105, getting the job done for some plus money cash, and the under 8.5 in that matchup. All right, next contest, it is going to be the Dodgers. Are they even up here? Yeah. The Dodgers versus the Diamondbacks, 9:39 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Dodgers are minus 128, totals 9 and a hook, juice to the under. The D-backs are plus $110 to win it at home. They're also minus 143 to cover the run line. Zach Gallen for the D-backs, Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers, although this one looks like a bullpen game for Los Angeles. The Dodgers doubled up the D-backs yesterday by the final of 6-3. LA's currently on a 3-game winning streak. They allowed just 2.3 runs per contest on average in that short span. Corey Seager leads the team in hits. He also ranks 3rd in the majors in OPS. Max Muncy slammed 3 homers already, while Justin Turner's batted in 6. The Dodgers are in the top 10 in scoring and top 3 in hits. They're also in the top 3 in runs allowed. They are taking on a D-back squad who's lost 3 out of their last 4, and that includes a 7-4 loss to the Rangers. Zach Gallen takes the mound as the D-backs lost 2 out of their last 3 games where he made the start. The D-backs have also struggled to get on the board this season. They struggled to score. They rank in the bottom 3 in runs and hits. And speaking of the scoring, no surprise here, as 6 out of Arizona's last 7 stayed under the total of 9.5 runs. Arizona's officially 71% to the under thus far for the year. Meanwhile, on the Dodgers side of things, they saw their last 5 straight stay under 9.5 total runs themselves. LA's officially 6-1 to the under thus far on the season themselves with regard to the posted total. So with all that said and done, give me the Dodgers winning this one outright on the road and the under 9.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our next and final matchup for the show. I think I skipped a couple at the time I did the preparation. There was no lines for those games. But anyway, A's Mariners, 9:40 p.m. East. A's are minus 213, total 9.5. Seattle plus $1.75 to win. Seattle's also plus $1.10 for some run line cash. Walker for the Mariners, Manaea for the A's. Manaea's 0-1 with a 7.71 ERA. The A's lost their last 2 straight and scored just 7 total runs in their last 3 outings. Oakland's in the bottom 5 in scoring, bottom 10 in striking batters out. They're taking on a Mariners team who won their last 2 straight, scoring 18 total runs in those victories. Seattle's in the top 5 in hits, top 10 in free passes. Kyle Lewis leads the team in hits. He's also batting .448, which is 5th in Major League Baseball. Lewis has also knocked in 7 on the season. Kyle Seager leads the team in doubles, while J.P. Crawford leads the Mariners in on-base percentage. And when it comes to the total in this one, Seattle's officially 7-0 to the over on the season, depending on where you're shopping at. Some books have them 6-0-1, but we're going to call it 7-0 to the over on the season. Meanwhile, on the Oakland side, they saw 2 out of their last 4 games get over that number themselves. Give me the Mariners plus 1.5 and the over 9.5 in that contest. And with that said, guys, just got to thank you for tuning in. Once again, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. I always remind you at the end of every video, what we do on Patreon is we bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. It's just the way Patreon's billing cycle works. So if you were going to decide to pull the trigger today, you're going to get billed today, and then you're going to get billed August 1st. So you may want to hold off until August, but it's just a way Patreon does their billing. You build the day you sign up, and then the first of every month following that, and that's the way it goes. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for me. I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Friday to you. The weekend is finally here. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/ slash Brock Page.